All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory due unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakal Kadash. That's all praises to who the world calls God and Jesus Christ. The true names in the Hebrew is Yahweh for the Heavenly Father, Yahshua, beloved Son. This is the brother Tazba in Arizona. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Tazaba out here in Arizona. Lord will want another video at Edify, and there's a lot of things coming out on Esau. He's being made bare. He's being shown to be a goddamn criminal in the earth, and the Lord is putting him on the front street right now, man. And it's beautiful because the things that we said and that we know through the scriptures are coming to pass, and he's being put on the forefront, and it's not. He's not bringing out little shit on just the peon of the Edomites, man. He's bringing out these things on the elite. You're rich of the rich, man, and there. And I'm gonna bring out a whole bunch of stuff right now. Try to keep it as short as possible. There's a lot of information to go through, but hey, this Edomite has always been down with pedophilia, man. Even from ancient Rome. Even from ancient Rome, and nothing's changed with them. Disdain to sit. Salaki, I'm looking up this precept. It's Job 30 and 1. It says, "But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to sit with the dogs of my flock." Because they're so vile, like the scriptures say, they're more vile than the earth. And the things they do in this world, hey, this stuff is popping up everywhere, man. And I want to look at this situation. I want to keep up with the situation that's going on with Senior Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, because right now he's being implicated on some human trafficking charges, and it's coming out that these are all underage girls that he was with, and they're saying that they're at the age of 14 and all that, as young as the age of 14. But really, man, you guys are forgetting that not too long ago, you had a thing called Pizzagate that came out where you had all these officials, and they mark it as a conspiracy theory when they had so many videos of them doing all these things on the dark web, where they would use code language to sit here and order a pizza, but really what they were ordering were living beings and children. It says Pizzagate redirects here. Pizzagate is a debunked theory, which that's bullshit. It's not been debunked. And this stuff that's coming out with Epstein, man, and Lord will, this goes, this goes the distance, man, and there's a lot more that comes out. It says that went viral during 2016 United States presidential election cycle. The conspiracy theory has been extensively discredited by a wide array of organizations, including Metropolitan Police Department of the District of Columbia. Now, mind you, here are some of the players, and these players that are mentioned here are coming right back out with this Jeffrey Epstein guy. It says in March of 2016, personal email account on John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, was hacked in a spear phishing attack, and his emails were later made public by WikiLeaks in November 2016. Proponents of the Pizzagate conspiracy theory falsely claimed that the emails contained coded messages referring to human trafficking and connecting several U.S. restaurants and high-ranking officials of the Democratic Party with an alleged child sex ring involving restaurant and pizzeria Comet Ping Pong located in Washington, D.C. And they have all types of satanic imagery all over the restaurant. They have a bookstore too that they showing this, and they claim this is just how do you say, conspiracy theory. But here it is. You got this guy, Jeffrey Epstein, and we're gonna play a little bit of this article, play a little bit of this video, and read another article, and read a little bit of history and give you some depth into how this is nothing new, man. I'm gonna get that, man. Slovakia. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. It says, "The thing that had been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. There is no new thing under the sun." So this is nothing new, man. You Edomites, and you can look at the dudes. I ain't even got to tell you what race this dude is. What nationality, according to the Bible, he belongs to, man. He's an Edomite. And you know what he's compared to now. You know what the guy sitting by him, you know exactly what nationality you have to equate them to, because they're the Romans. And you know who the Romans were. So-called white people, There's nothing new, man. This stuff has been going on since he got into power. That's why it says, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. It also tells you that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And we're going to play some of this stuff and get into it, man. So a lot of these names are going to start coming up, man. A lot of these names are going to start coming up. And Lord, Baba Kushaya, please let this go the distance, because there's some meat. There's some meat. And not only that, let's just go into this real quick, man. I don't want to talk too much.
Chan, you're watching In Question, broadcasting live from RT America National Headquarters in Washington, D.C. Here are the stories we're working on for you today. Tension is mounting as to who might be implicated in the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking scandal. This while some of the billionaire's most powerful friends begin to speak out, find out who. Plus, how does the U.S. plan to keep pressure on Iran as they continue to move further away?
Now let's see if we can.
Epstein's story also involves other high-profile people and names of whom he was friends with and or associated with. Among them, former President Bill Clinton, both a friend of Epstein and Epstein's former partner, Ghislaine Maxwell. We've heard her name a lot. The British socialite accused of essentially working as Epstein's madam and recruiting his young victims. Now, a statement released by former President Clinton's office reads in part.
I want to rewind just a little bit, because I need that still. Now, I'm gonna go to some history on this, but doesn't this guy look exactly like Tiberius? Doesn't he look exactly like him? This guy might just be Tiberius, born back in the reincarnation, man. And we're going to go into the history of Tiberius and his sexual depravity as well, man. Because he was doing some of the same things as Mr. Jeff Epstein.
He was friends with and or associated with. Among them, former President Bill Clinton, both a friend of Epstein and Epstein's former partner, Ghislaine Maxwell. We've heard her name a lot. The British socialite accused of essentially working as Epstein's madam and recruiting his young victims. Now, a statement released by former President Clinton's office reads in part that, quote, President Clinton knows nothing about the terrible crimes Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty to in Florida some years ago, or those with which he has been recently charged in New York.
And that's BS, because back in 2016, just like we read, The Clintons, a lot of those upper echelon, a lot of those upper echelon political figureheads in Washington and all these other places were getting caught up in that Pizzagate scandal. But they had such a deep network and they used such code language that they were able to slither their way out. But hey, stuff is starting to kick off, man. Esau's being made bare, as the scripture saying. I'm gonna get that in a little bit. But mind you this, not too long ago, it's an article that I read. I've been sitting on this, man, and stuff has just been coming out. I talked to the brother on the phone, and hey, I just got to put this on wax. It says bipartisan bill. And let me get that word for bipartisan. So we know what it means. It says bipartisan of or involving the agreement or corporation of two political parties that usually oppose each other's policies. So you got both sides of a Senate somewhere, of the political party somewhere, the Democrats and the Republicans coming together to make a bill that aims to tackle rampant child porn sharing on Pentagon computers. So instead of them sitting there trying to scrub this stuff off the internet, they're rampantly sharing child pornography at the Pentagon. Those people that you sit here and claim are the voice of morality in the world, stand up for the right things. This is what they're doing all day, looking at child pornography and sharing it with each other. It says Congress is weighing up a bipartisan bill to crack down on the sharing of child porn on Defense Department computers after a watchdog group, and they didn't do this until a watchdog group started pointing the fingers at them. They didn't do this until that, because when they started getting pointed out, that's when the stuff had to come to pass. It says, after a watchdog group found the Pentagon's network ranked among the top U.S. Individual service providers for sharing the vile content. So the bulk of all child pornography that's being shared in the U.S. is coming out of the Pentagon. It says the notion that the Department of Defense network and Pentagon issued computers may be used to view, create, or circulate such horrifying images is a shameful disgrace and one we must fight head on. Abigail Spanberger, Democratic Virginia, it says, said in a statement on Tuesday as she and co-sponsor Mark Meadows, Republican of North Carolina, introduced the End National Defense Network Abuse Act in the House. Now you see this? Now it's getting shared around so much. Now it's being shared around so much that now they have to make a bill for these people just to get the fuck off of it. You know, this was very typical of an Edomite rulership, man. Let me get this, man. I don't want to try to look up too many tabs on the laptop where I got this program running because it makes it start to run slow. But it says, Jeremiah 49 and 10 says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbor, and he is not. You see, the Lord's making them bare, man. The Lord's putting all this shit on Front Street. So you're starting to see the disgusting, vile nature of this person that you think is a morality in the earth. And that's why everybody hates America, man. That's why all these other nations hate America, because they know how wicked and disgusting and putrid Edomites are and how they're ruling the world, and they know that it's wrong, and they see the pride in them and the arrogancy to think, and the hypocrisy to think that they're a voice of morality, that they just hate this place and they know what they're doing. Even Putin put America is full of homosexuals, and he said that in a press conference. And Satanists, he said homosexuals, pedophiles, and Satanists, man. And that's what America really, America and full is really full of, man. You know, and this is nothing new, man, because back in the Roman Empire, they had a custom of pedophilia. They had a custom of having pedophilia, but they called it pedestry, pedesty, pederasty. It says, it says, is a usual erotic homosexual relation between an adult male and a pubescent or adolescent male. That means before puberty. So the child hadn't even been able to turn a man yet, and they're sitting there just freaking off on them. Why do you think so many of these kids? Not only that, man, you got to remember that they're sitting there doing all this stuff in the Catholic Church, pedophile priest. You know, this world is ruled by wicked men. It says the word pedestry, pederasty, derives from the Greek pederastia, love of boys. It says a compound derived from paisi, child, boy. It says erastes, lover. It says in French, however, pederasty has been used as a synonym for homosexuality between adult males. It says historically, pederasty has existed in a variety of customs and practices within different cultures. Status of pedestry has changed over the course of history, at times accepted and at other times a crime. In history of Europe, its most structured cultural manifestation was Athenian pedestry. Look at that, Athenian pedestry entitled a form of bond between a adult man and a adolescent boy outside his immediate family, consisting of love and often sexual relations. You know, this is no different, man. This is why you got this old boy, Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, whatever, however you say his name.
Out of jail anytime soon. Prosecutors
Get this dude's face on camera, man.
Charges against Jeffrey Epstein.
2015 nuclear deal. And finally, the United States involved in yet another trade beef, this time he's facing the rest of his life in prison if convicted.
Good. There you go. There you got your little pedophile right there, man. This is nothing new, man. Esau has always been on that tip. It says, and become most prominent in 6th century BC, Greek pedestry was a social acknowledged romantic relation between an adult male and a younger male, usually in his teens. It's a characteristic of archaic, I don't know how to say it, and classic periods. Influence of pedestry on Greek culture in these periods was pervasive that it has been called. It says various forms of the subject of philosophic debates in which purely carnal type was unfavorable compared to erotic relationships with moderate forms known as I don't even know how to say that. Sophorcine. So this is nothing new, man. The Greeks, the Romans had this custom, and more importantly, the elite of the Romans had this custom. And one of the biggest culprits that just dwindled that all down You can't forget Nero, because Nero has also had an account where he took a young boy before he even was old enough. He took a young boy, cut off his goddamn rod, and made him his wife. You know, and these are the people that you Edomites sit here and say this is where civilization started. So your civilization started with the wicked, man. And this is why it says in the book of Maccabees. Let me get that, man. Yeah, this is book of Maccabees 1. I'm going to start at 1. It says, and it happened that after Alexander, son of Philip, which is talking about, son of Philip the Macedonian, which is talking about Alexander the Great, who came out of the land of Chittim and had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes. That's how you know who he's talking about, and reigned in his stead the first over Greece. Now, jumping down to verse 9, it says, and after his death, they put crowns upon his heads, talking about the four generals, crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So this is why they were able to get down, man, because the Lord gave them the power to get down how they were, man. You know, these look, it looks exactly. Let me see if I can get this on here, man. Oh boy, Epstein look exactly like dude too, man. If I can get this to stop messing up. He look exactly like him, bro. This might be Tiberius, man. This really might be Tiberius, and we're gonna go to the history of why I say this just may be Tiberius, man. So, this lesson is going on a little bit. Okay. Come on now. Don't cop out now. Now I'm going up. It says history. Nutcases Tiberius. Now it says early life. Tiberius was born Claudius Nero. Was born on November 6, November 6 and 42 BC. Now, listen to this. It says, after Julius Caesar was assassinated by a Roman Senate, Rome was plunged into various civil wars. Tiberius' family fought on the side of Mark Antony, just giving you some back history on him. But when the tide turned into favor of Mark Antony's rival, Octavian, Tiberius, and his family were forced into hiding. Peep this. Tiberius' family, after Rome, just took notice of them. Now, Tiberius, his family was killed off, right? And he was getting raised up by one of them. But peep this, and he was getting turned out too. Tiberius was getting turned the fuck out, but here it is. It says, however, Tiberius began his reign by murdering and by only living by murdering the only living contender for the throne, Postumus, and intimidating the Roman Senate with his Praetorian guard. It says he ruled Rome with an iron fist. For a time, his laws and policies were temperate. He strengthened the Roman navy, seized gladiatorial games throughout Rome, and even refused to let a calendar month be named after him, thinking it too extravagant. Not only that, but he put a stop to squandering and waste of the imperial treasury. Under Tiberius, Rome grew rich and powerful. However, in AD 23, Tiberius' son Drusus died. The emperor was never the same. From then on, madness began to spread through his mind. The Lord put demons on him, man. Like the scriptures say, I form light, I create evil. The Lord said he would put a lying spirit on him. It says he spent less and less time running Rome and put his Praetorian captain Sejanus in power. However, Salakia says from there Tiberius withdrew to Capri and ruled as emperor only in name. It says, now jumping down, this is where it starts getting juicy, man. This is when it tells you all his wickedness, man. He built dozens of villas on islands, filling them with dungeons, torture chambers, and places of execution. According to Roman historian Suetonius, Tiberius filled his libraries on Capri with erotic fiction and organized massive orgies compromised of members of both comprised of members of both sex. Just like in this kingdom, man. These Edomites with this porn and shit, man. This is exactly what they did. This is Rome all over again. That's why the scriptures tell you. Let me get that. This is Revelation 13 and 2. It says, and the beast which thou saw like unto a leopard, and his feet as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of the heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Meaning that was the Roman Empire coming back. Well, that's why you have the Treaty of Rome. And who conducted that? Babylon the Great, America, man. So this is just the Roman Empire coming back into power, man. Diverse from all the rest because it had the same rulership that the Roman Senate had, where they elected officials. Because before that, everybody had a king, and the next king that would come in the line was the son of the king, and it would go in a procession like that. But this whole rulership came around, and this is how they started doing this. That's why it was diverse from all the other rulerships. It says, I'm gonna keep reading. It says, back in Rome, he distracted the Senate and the Roman public with his paranoia and sexual deviancy by building statues of Sinjas all over the city and distributed all sorts of propaganda to keep Sinjas in power. Back at Capri, he had a massive villa built for himself, the villa of it says Villa of Jove or Villa of Love. It was at this villa of love that he began to indulge his pedophilia. Nobody but members of his court were allowed on Capri while he was living there. Even fishermen who accidentally landed on the island or fished in its waters were severely punished. Tiberius was so busy on Capri, though uh, though that he didn't notice that Sinjas was plotting against him for a good while. He soon caught wind of treason, however, and Tiberius decided to come back to Capri and deal with it immediately. You see? So as soon as he had a little bit of time, he started doing hella evil, man, hella wickedness, pedophilia, and it's no different, man. These high up Edomites, man, they're all about that. Now, this article goes into some of the wickedness that these Romans, these Edomites were doing, man. This is another one. It says Gizmodo. So it says, let me go up to the top for you. I don't want this to start timing out, man. Start freezing and shit. Now it says 11 most sexually depraved things the Roman emperors ever did. And it goes through a list, man. So it says the emperors of Rome could be wise, just, and kind. They could also be vindictive, cruel, and insane. And most of all, they could do the worst. They could be the worst perverts the world has ever seen, at least according to ancient historians like Cincius, Pliny, and Cassius Dio. Here are nearly a dozen and almost here are nearly a dozen of the most immoral, disgusting behaviors the rulers of ancient Rome were indulged in. Supposedly, chances are most of these were rumors made by the political enemies or gossiping plebs. I don't know what that means. But hey, it's just because they may not be true doesn't mean there aren't still entertainingly perverse. So it says niece marrying, hiring anal sex experts. Isn't that what this world pushes now? Anal sex all the time. It says animal game. Nero was it says Nero, which was a wicked motherfucker, man. Nero was so into being as depraved as possible. He supposedly defiled every single part of his body uh, that he had to think up some pretty original ways to keep it fresh. And peep this. Sleep not. See if I get the preset. Because there's a precept that says, yeah, here it is, Proverbs 4 and 16. I started Proverbs 4 and 15. Proverbs 4 and 14. It says, enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not into the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. You see? Look, he said he had to think of new ways to keep it fresh. He says he at last deceived devised a kind of game in which he covered with in which covered with the skin of wild animal he 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 was let loose from a cage and attacked the private parts of men and women who were bound to stakes. And when he had sated himself, and when he had sated his mad lust, he dispatched by his freedom of Dorifus. Don't know what that means, man. I don't want to even go into it, man. Esau's just sexually depraved, man. This is another sexual act of the Romans were sister fucking. It says sex rest stops, having sexual intercourse with your mothers, creating an imperial brothel, part-time prostitution, making a man his wife. It says Oh, look, and he goes back and said, Nero, I'm not talking about gay marriage here. At least not really. I'm talking about Nero taking a man and making him a woman in the worst possible way. He castrated boy Sporus. He castrated the boy Sporus and actually tried to make a woman of him, just like Esau does in his kingdom, man. And he married him with all the usual ceremonies, including a dowry and a bridal veil. Took him to his house, a- attended by a great throng, and treated him as a wife. Eunuchs, it says, having sex with men and women just enough, just isn't enough anymore. You see that? It says, now this is where it goes into the pedophilia. It says tiddlers. Emperor Tiberius loved to swim and apparently also loved being pleasured by children. In a feat of inspiration, he managed to combine both these hobbies into one. He trained little boys whom he termed tiddlers to crawl between his thighs when he went swimming and tease him with their licks and nibbles and tease them with their licks and nibbles. It's like the world's most perverted aquarium. That's this guy, man. Mr. Epstein. Epstein, right there, man. That's your boy. These Edomites are vile, man. And riches of them get the worst, man. It says 11. It says baby fucking. I'm sorry. Uh, I'm sorry. Did you think Tiberius Tiddlers were bad? He also used to get blowjobs from babies, unweaned babies, meaning children that were so young that all they do is suck because they're trying to get food. These goddamn, man, these damn devils, man. Get this precept. Because let's see if I plug it up on here, man. Say not that I gave you this for your righteousness. Because there's a precept, man, making it so hard to get these precepts. There's a precept where it says, "Say not that I gave you this land for your righteousness, but because the nations were evil, you know, so-called white men, evil, man." Malachi 1 and let me get this, man. Malachi 1 and 4, man. And he hasn't changed, man. Malachi 1 and 4 says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh had indignation forever. So this is the same goddamn devil, man. Nothing has changed, man. He's the wicked of the earth, man. He's the goddamn wicked of the earth. Get this next one, man. close it out soon. This is going a little long. It's Isaiah 26:10. Man. Isaiah 26:10. Let favor be shown unto the wicked, and was it not favor for them to be lifted up and to be exalted into power? And look what they've done when they've gotten into power, man. Pushed all type of sexual immorality and wickedness throughout the earth. It says, let favor be shown unto the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of Yahweh. And that's these goddamn devils, man. It says, I'm sorry, do you think Tiberius Titler were bad? He also used to get blowjobs from babies, unweaned babies. He would put to his groins as though to breast, as though to the breast, being by both nature and age rather fond of this form of satisfaction. You see this? This is the wickedness of Esau Edom, man. And this is what this kingdom is going to go to, man, because here it is. In this kingdom, they have such a thing called Manbala. Look at that. North American Man-Boy Love Association is a pedophile pedestrian advocacy organization in the United States. You see that? Man-Boy Love, meaning pedophilia, pedestrian, like we read earlier. And they want to push this thing, man, because these Edomites are a bunch of fucking pedophiles, man. And this is why the Lord's going to put them to death, man. This is why the Lord's going to come how he's going to come. Because the scriptures tell you that, let me get this. Their sins reached unto heaven, man. Revelation 18 and probably start up a little bit. The shit ever load, man. Esau in his kingdom, man. Revelation 18 and 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, pedophilia, inordinate lust. These are all things that are against the spirit and against the Lord's commandments, but this place takes part of it. That's why the Lord told us to come out of her, that we be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, because the Lord's going to address this kingdom soon, man. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High remembered her iniquities. You see? So this place is gonna get dealt with, man. All this wickedness, and it's no different from ancient Rome, man. No different from ancient Rome. And there's gonna, in Lord's will, man, in Baba Kushaya Abashimashai, I hope this dude starts dropping names and giving proof, because that's what they're saying. He's at a 45-year sentence right now, Jeffrey Epstein, for this human trafficking line that he's been doing. This dude, I really do believe he's Tiberius, man. Looks just like him. He's having these wild sex orgy parties just like him. Hey, man, this. Let me see if I can get a better picture of him, man. Let me get a better glimpse of this
Has the story.
goddamn devil.
Well, Manila.
India. We're going to talk about all that and more coming up. It's time. Washington, D.C. Here are the stories we're working on for you today. Tension is mounting as to who might be implicated in the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking scandal. This while some of the billionaire's most powerful friends begin to speak out, find out who.
President Bill Clinton,
Look.
a friend of
Looks exactly like Tiberius right there. Same proud stare. Look at that. Look exactly like Tiberius, man. That dude really might just be Tiberius, man. And I hope the Lord brings out more dirt on this devil, man. But Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to say, call halal, Yahweh Shemir Ashai, by Shemir Kal Kadash. Double honors to elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to hopeful elect. Hey, shalom.